All right, this is a transmission from Riok on the nature of the Earth. Details include, we'll see. I'm not even going to say anything. We'll see where they include. 3:05 on July 6th. I have to like unbutton my pants. So you're like sitting in the stage. It's just like, pushing against your belly. Okay. All right, and we are excited to now be able to deliver this new information, this new transmission that is related to the overall functioning of your Earth in terms of it being a literal spaceship, which we know has existed as an idea in your culture, but we want to begin to expand upon this idea and explain mechanically how your Earth travels and how your Earth actually travels without many of you realizing that it's even doing it. So you're all familiar with the idea that in every moment you are shifting your reality perspective from one parallel reality version of Earth to the next, to the next, to the next. Understanding that some of these realities you shift to are so unique and so different in their vibrations that the actual location of your Earth within your solar system will actually change for some of these realities, where you will actually be in a different solar system. You will be amongst different stars. You will be amongst different planets. But your Earth is intelligent. It will shift in a way that positions itself in the proper distance around certain stars, so that way the homeostasis of the world can still be maintained. There is a safety net mechanism that is built into this that is part of the collective consciousness of the different parts of space and the stars and planets that are in those parts of space and the Earth. So they are essentially working together as a team to ensure that when the Earth makes these quantum jumps, these teleportation jumps, it is able to not be disturbed and life on the planet can continue in a way that is still harmonious. Understanding your Earth can also do this in multiple locations simultaneously, and this is part of how each of you can shift to so many infinite possible variations of Earth itself. The reason the Earth does this is when you raise your frequency to a certain point or you lower it to a certain point, it will teleport to different portions of space in proximity to different stars and planets that can then assist each of you in being able to receive lessons from these more cosmic beings, understanding that they will then be able to share more of their dimensions, more of their worlds with your surface population, understanding that this occurs more frequently than many of you realize, and there is an underlying vibration to it. And should you begin to meditate upon this teleportation ability that the Earth has, you will be able to actually get a better gist of when it is happening. Understanding that your collective reality experience is so strong and so strongly reinforced by your belief that you will actually project at certain times images of your planets, images of your stars, of the Milky Way, and of your unique solar system, so that even when you teleport and even when you shift, it does not appear that you've done so. That is how strong your collective belief is. When we say shift here, we are talking about shifting to another part of space. Understanding that your collective belief in how fixed your reality is so strong that you will actually project and literally imagine you're still seeing your moon at times, when in reality you're in a different portion of space just for a little bit, so your Earth can download some of these messages, and so you can download some of these messages from these other portions of space where there are other planets and other stars that are imparting different teachings to your Earth. Understanding that, as we've said, it is your overall vibration that determines when some of these teleportation jumps will happen. One of the things that drives the collective experience of this is what have been called traditionally on your world your sacred sites, your Earth chakras, your Earth power centers. Understanding that when these are accessed by enough people with similar vibrations, that is one of the ways you can consciously drive your Earth to different portions of space. You can teleport your Earth to different portions of space in a conscious way. You can also bring with you different aspects of your solar system to these other portions of space, should you choose. Understanding that Earth is, in that sense, a spaceship, and that its current position within your Milky Way and within your solar system is not its original position. Understanding you have jumped here. One of the reasons for this is this particular solar system is very supportive for your transformational age. Many of the planets, many of the stars located here are very important and very supportive of the spiritual evolution that is taking place on your world. Understanding that your Earth will not remain here as its default, as its current. It will eventually shift to another portion of space that is then more reflective of your extraterrestrial associations, your extraterrestrial connections, as well as your own spiritual evolution. Because you will have different planets, therefore you will have different astrologies. Remembering your astrologies are just a reflection of your collective in that way. They are just interpretations of your collective and your collective's energy and how your collective is shifting. But when you all raise your vibrations to a certain point, you will then reflect, again, a different portion of space in your external environment. You will manifest that in, and you will therefore begin to have different astrologies as well, different planetary and star-based influences, you could say, players in the game of the Earth experience. We wanted to present this idea because we want you to understand how non-fixed your reality actually is, and how it is up to you to create that awareness of it either being incredibly fixed, this is the way it is, it's not changing, or realizing that it actually changes more than you realize. And that your belief in its fixed nature is so strong, you'll actually project that over the reality, so that way it still appears to have its same storyline. And this is done, again, so the collective ego can continue to feel safe. It's not a negative thing, but it is just something that you do to continue your sense of consistency over time. But now that you are aware that your external environment is actually changing in a way that your belief systems limit its perception, you will now be able to see more clearly into some of these phenomenon as they occur. And you can begin to tap into some of these underlying energies. We thank you for your attention in this transmission. We understand this is somewhat new information for some of you. We hope you enjoy the information. And we thank you for your attention.